In my last video, I was trying to figure out what the occultists are doing with all their supposed eclipse worship, which caused me to research another one of their beloved philosophies, the dark energy star, or the black hole sun. Another of their beloved occult philosophies is time travel, which I'm finding is correlated to the dark energy star, and I will cover that in this video. This is the logo for Heliofont, and they are the iPetGoat animators, and this also looks like a dark energy star. And here is another image from their website, which looks very similar to the album art for Dark Star, the Crosby, Stills and Nash album. Don't these look the same? Here's an image from the Black Hole Sun Soundgarden album. The title of that is Alive in the Super Unknown, where you see a similar image along with this demonic looking figure emerging, and I think the elf ears are interesting on that guy. But to review, a dark energy star is a hypothetical astrophysical object similar to a black hole. The theory states that matter is converted into dark energy as the matter falls through the event horizon. A column of superfluid grows taller, density increases, slowing down the speed of sound so that it approaches zero. Sound waves dissipate their energy into the superfluid. Primordial dark energy stars could form by fluctuations of space-time, which is analogous to blobs of liquid condensing spontaneously out of a cooling gas. So that definition of the dark star and fluctuations of space-time and the superfluid made me think of the movie Donnie Darko, which is an occult movie about time travel and affecting outcomes. And in that movie, the thing that I always wondered about was this liquid coming out of Donnie's chest. And now I realize that it corresponds to this idea of the dark energy star, where primordial dark energy stars could form by fluctuations of space-time itself, which is analogous to blobs of liquid condensing spontaneously out of a cooling gas. It also reminds me of this movie Stargate, where they time travel, and this is also gaseous liquid used for time travel. But back to Donnie Darko. Here's a movie poster for Donnie Darko, and he has this thing on his chest that looks like a dark energy star also. And Donnie Darko is an occult Gnostic movie about time travel, where Jake Gyllenhaal, Donnie Darko, diverts the end of the world from happening using a form of time travel. The end of the world was prophesied in the movie by his sister's dead boyfriend in a white rabbit Halloween costume. And the white rabbit is a Gnostic occult symbol representing interdimensions, like for example in Alice in Wonderland and The Matrix. And the Donnie Darko movie has a lot of clues about the occult and what they're up to, and so do other movies. But Donnie Darko has 9/11 symbolism, and it was premiered in January of 2001. It also foreshadows the Trump presidency. It's set in Middlesex, Massachusetts, which is a reference to Middlesex in Greater London, which has a lot of medieval history and is the home of the Supreme Court of the UK. So Donnie Darko learns about time travel from this book titled The Philosophy of Time Travel. Chapter 1 is the Tangent Universe. Other chapters are The Manipulated Living, The Manipulated Dead, and The Living Receiver. And that's the one I'm showing here. And it's got a knight on it, which is very interesting. I cover a lot on this channel about knights. See my playlist titled Knights of the Crown. Frank, the rabbit's character, was inspired by the book Watership Down, which is a mythical book with themes of Homer and Virgil, Greek philosophers, written by a British author. But this concept of time travel in that and other movies, as it relates to the occult and dark energy stars even, is what I want to focus on. I want to focus on time travel. And I'm sure you can think of a lot of other movies because there have been tons. You know, Back to the Future, of course. This one is High Life, starring Robert Pattinson, the vampire from the Twilight movies, who's actually related in real life to Vlad Dracula and Charles III. So time travel is an occult philosophy, kind of like alchemy and vampires, also popular in the occult. And I'm thinking the reason that time travel is a popular philosophy in the occult is because it's a doctrine of demons given to the occultists by the demons. I think the reason that those who practice witchcraft and communicate with spirits are so obsessed with time travel is because they don't want to live under God's constraints. They want to use time travel to affect outcomes, like in the Donnie Darko movie and other movies. But in this dimension on earth, humans are time constrained. God says we are appointed once to die and then the judgment. Hebrews 9:27 says, just as people are destined to die once and after that to face judgment, so Christ was sacrificed to take away the sins of many, and he will appear a second time, not to bear sin, but to bring salvation to those who are waiting for him. But the demons in the other dimensions where the spirits reside, they are not time constrained, at least not in the same manner as we are. So looking at the occult concept of time travel, we can see that it's supported by theoretical physics and quantum mechanics using the concept of wormholes and black holes, which we already said is analogous to the dark energy star. And this thing coming out of Donnie's chest in the movie looks like a wormhole. A wormhole hypothetically connects points in space-time, which this concept was postulated by Albert Einstein and other theoretical physicists. A wormhole can be visualized as a tunnel with two ends at separate points in space-time, different locations, different points in time, or both, exactly like what is coming out of Donnie Darko's chest in this movie. Scientists, or theoretical physicists, postulate that wormholes are projections of a fourth spatial dimension and that there might be many wormholes in the universe by way of negative mass, which sounds like a dark energy star. It also sounds like what CERN says they're trying to do with their Large Hadron Collider. When you look up the Large Hadron Collider, you have all these similar terms: dark matter, negative mass, black holes. It says that in 2011, quark gluon plasma, the densest matter thought to exist besides black holes, had been created in the LHC. And you can only understand these concepts in terms of the occult because they're witchcraft terms. The entire thing, the entire LHC, is one big circle. And that's the first thing you do in witchcraft, is draw a circle. See the names here? Atlas, the Titan of Atlantis, which we talked about, which they want to bring back. And then you see Alice. Some physicists, such as Kip Thorne, have suggested how to make wormholes artificially. And he was educated at Princeton. Revelation 8, 10, and 11. The third angel blew his trumpet, and a great star fell from heaven, like a blazing torch, and it fell on a third of the rivers, and on the springs of water. The name of the star is wormwood. A third of the waters became wormwood, and many died from the water, because it was made bitter. Is wormwood the dark energy star? Time travel is also a concept referenced in Hinduism and Islam. And in Islam, the concept is related to cave dwelling, where the cave dwellers were the time travelers. A book was written in 1640 in China involving time travel and mirrors. The mirror and caves are both concepts that we see in the occult related to demons and demon worshippers, the receivers. In the Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children movie, Jacob goes into a cave to time travel. In the movie Solar Babies, the orb, which represents a demon, is also found in a cave. And even in the Rocky Horror Picture Show, which I covered in my video titled Horror, the theme song is the Time Warp. And that main character is a vampire alien and a trainee in that movie. Just like the trainee Egyptian I'm showing here, the alien Ra from Stargate. Do you see how all these themes are related? And what experiments have been done with time travel? The delayed choice quantum eraser experiment was performed by Marlon Scully, and it involves a pair of entangled photons whereby the experimenter can erase information. And Marlon Scully is a professor at Princeton, and he graduated from Yale. Another experimenter supposedly made it possible to send packages of waves through a bulb of gas in such a way that package appeared to exit the bulb 62 nanoseconds before its entry. And I'm not saying this is actually possible. What I'm saying is that these people are trying to experiment with it, and it's the doctrine of demons. Is that what the LHC is at CERN? It says it's an energy particle collider to find dark matter, dark energy, which they say fuels the universe. Which makes it very interesting when you consider that it was fired up on April 8th of 2024 when the supposed eclipse happened. So H.G. Wells, British author, is referred to as the father of the time machine because he wrote this book, The Time Machine. And that's an interesting cover. And his alma mater is the Royal College of Science. Knight of the Crown Sir James Fraser, in his book about magic and witchcraft titled The Golden Bough, The Magic Art and Evolution of Kings, says that magic, religion, and science are indistinguishable from each other. He often refers to science as a magic wand. In the first paragraph in the conclusion of his book, he says, "Religion regarded as an explanation of nature is displaced by science. Magic, religion, and science are nothing but theories of thought. Science has supplanted its predecessors, so it may hereafter be superseded by some more perfect hypothesis, perhaps by some totally different way of looking at the phenomena, of registering shadows on the screen." You really cannot separate the occult from the royals, which is why our Naval Observatory in the United States links their UK eclipse portal, links to it, which I covered in my last video titled Dark Energy Star. This is the level of witchcraft and supposed magic that we're dealing with, which their own knight says is the same thing as science and their religion. Thanks for listening.